Yeah.
I knew you'd be dancing. I knew it. I knew it. I'm dancing with you.
Yes,
I'm
indeed.
dancing
Yes,
with
indeed.
you. Hi, Dr. Chris.
Bill Apter. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you, my brother.
You too. We're just hanging around here. So I got.
Absolutely.
I'm not down in Apter's Alley because there's a heating problem with Apter's Alley, and it's very cold here in the
West
suburbs of
Coast.
Philadelphia.
I mean, even the Midwest is experiencing
Yes.
an incredible amount of chill right now. Actually, negative degree temperatures that will be coming overnight in the East Midwest, and so you and I, we're in neighboring states, and so you're in Pennsylvania, I'm in Ohio, so we both experience similar weather.
We do. We do.
Yes.
But we're here
Indeed.
for our unscripted fans.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So, because of several shows that I've been on, all on uh, Wrestle Binge, Backstage Pass, people are taking something I said kind of out of context. They said, "Why do you not like Penta?" That's not true. It is not true. I've been disappointed in the presentation of Penta 2 weeks in a row now. When Penta debuted, I couldn't wait. I'd seen him in Lucha Underground.
Yep.
I'd seen him in AEW, and several times he got me off the chair with, "Yo, man, this guy's amazing," right? And you may have been in that same position too.
Oh yeah, I like
So
Penta a lot.
you did
Yeah,
it just now. See
yeah, I
that?
think
You're getting
yeah,
out of your
oh,
chair.
yeah, yes, indeed.
So
Yeah,
last week,
great. I think he's a great character.
you wrestled Chad Gable
Yes.
on Penta's debut.
Yep.
And I kind of said the next morning when I got up and I was thinking about the show that Chad Gable looked fabulous. He took Penta worked from underneath pretty much, and he feigned a leg injury,
Yep.
but he won, and he was in front of a terrific crowd with his family there, and it was great. A great finish. Okay,
Yep.
so Bill Apter, let's wait for the next week and see if something changes. So now they announce that tonight it will be Penta against Britain's own. I didn't hear what you said.
Pete Dunne.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. I was trying to think of his brat name.
Butch.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever you want. Our truth still calls him Butch, and so yeah,
Yes,
whichever
yes,
one.
yes.
Yeah.
So now the match is happening, and I'm seeing Penta feigning an arm injury. I'm seeing Pete Dunne doing almost anything he wants with Penta.
Hmm.
And then Penta makes the strong comeback, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody's going crazy but me. Once again, this should not be a 50-50 while you're building him to the audience. This should be a 75-25,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion. Now, again, I'm not knocking Penta at all. His moves are fabulous. I always say I give him a 10 for dress. I love his costume. But I can't figure out exactly why the other guy is, during most of the match, beating Penta. Now, in the old school days, you'd have a champion getting beaten for like 10 minutes and then but he was established already, period, the end. So, the champion would come back, put on a figure four, all over, right? So I'm wondering now where they're going with Penta. Are they going to wait for Ray Phoenix to come in? Is he going to be that secret weapon that Dominik is giving to Chad Gable? Maybe, to Ray Phoenix being an opponent? But I just don't know why they're making Penta work from underneath most of the match. What are your feelings about Penta's debut and follow up in WWE, Dr. Chris?
I think that these matches of Penta just going 50-50 is going to plateau very quickly. And fans are starting, you don't want to get to the point, Bill, where his luster and his kind of equity is diminishing because he's continuing to go back and forth with mid card talent. I don't see how you can push him to be a main event level talent if he's struggling to even get past the mid card. And
Thank
so
you.
I'm not a fan of him just going 50-50. I mean, no shade to Chad Gable, no shade to Pete Dunne. I think what they're doing is they want to showcase his talent against people who's really good in the ring that will allow him to showcase his talent. But the problem with that is that starts to get really old really quickly. And so if people want to know how good his talent is, I think that they need to save it for those marquee matches. What
Who
you
would
do,
be the marquee? Who would be the marquee match for
yeah,
Penta?
I mean, I think that I see personally, I think that you could have done as far as just his first feud. I think what you could have done is you could have had this Chad Gable thing, him go through the Alpha or American Made, because there's not really equity in American Made. I think what you do is you have them try to do a couple of matches, a couple suplexes. He shrugs it off. The fans are getting into like his superhuman type of thing. I think his character really maps that out. And then you can feud him with like a Finn Balor, or you can feud him with, someone who has a stock. Unfortunately, with Finn Balor, though, he's not even really his equity isn't very strong either. You know what I mean?
It needs to be Dominik. It needs to be
I don't even.
Dominik.
The thing is, I don't think. See, Dominik, his stock is so low right now. It's just I'm thinking about a heel right now that has a high level of stock in on Raw. Right now, you have Gunther, who's the champ, but you don't want to put him that you don't want to hot shot him in that. You have Drew, but he keeps losing, so his stock is diminishing. You don't want to. You don't
I
want to.
couldn't see the two of them, and
Yeah, you don't want to do that regardless. You have a Bron Breaker who's booked oddly, and that just wouldn't work out.
Maybe that's a maybe.
Yeah, I don't think you do that because you don't want to. You don't want to do that yet. You want to build up to that, perhaps.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Or do you put him against? Well, you can't put him against an LWO guy because he's a babyface.
Yeah, I mean, whose stock is high enough for him to be in a feud with? And that's the thing. That's what makes it more difficult, and that's what makes it easier to book him into mid card matches because everybody feels like a mid carder, and so it's not really bumping his stock up as a main eventer if he's keep going back and forth with mid cards. And I think what you do with Penta is his character speaks for itself. I mean, look at him. He looks like he passed the airport tests. If I'm looking at a bunch of people in airport, Penta, like, he stands out. He's like, oh, okay. I look at him and he's magnetic. I'm interested in knowing more about this person.
Just to let our fans know, by the way, he does not wear his gimmick in the airport. But go ahead.
We may know, we may not. I thought about this earlier. I'm interested in a Penta versus Logan Paul WrestleMania match. I'm interested in that. I think
I never thought about that, but I think that would be a highly competitive and really a match that would complement both of them.
Both of them, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think Penta Logan Paul would be interesting. I thought about that earlier,
Great
and
idea.
I thinking in my head, okay, so who would make Penta really shine?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, Logan Paul was I see someone, yes, shout out to Damon. He actually put it here on the chat too. So great minds think alike there. Um and I thought in my head, like, who could showcase Penta's talent? Logan Paul would, but the problem with that is you can't keep doing these 50-50 matches against mid-carders. You can't do
No.
that, because you have to make Penta look huge, and you have to make Logan Paul, his character, look big. Now you have a WrestleMania caliber match of people wondering, like, I wonder who's going to win this, because both personalities look big. But at the same time, if Penta's 50-50 and then he beats Logan Paul, it doesn't really make Logan Paul's stock very high. Both of them have to
No,
look
but
big.
where do you go from there too? I mean, that's like the peak of opponent.
As far as Logan Paul is concerned,
Yeah, yeah.
that's when I think you can go into the Braun Breaker. But at the same time, you don't. I think you want clear cut heels against Penta right now. You don't want him to go against, like, people who gets cheered as well. You know,
Hmm.
who's the clear cut heel? Who are clear cut heels right now, other than a Logan Paul that, like, legitimately gets jeered? Then you could do. You could do. See, this is what I'd be interested in, Bill. I would be interested in the Karrion Kross versus Braun Breaker feud, and then that could lead to Karrion Kross winning the mid card championship, the Intercontinental Championship, and then I would be interested in the mystique of a Penta versus Karrion Kross feud. And what you could do is you could have, the Miz being there, and Authors of Pain, and then even if you do
Yeah.
Authors of Pain, you can bring other people there. But I think the mystique between a Penta versus Karrion Kross would be interesting. Title or non-title, to me, give it stakes, because I'm not a big fan of, let's just have feuds just for the sake of it, and then they drop off, and then you just kind of pick up
You
another
know,
one.
let
Give
me
me
say
stakes.
something. I see your point there, but I don't see the fans with a huge interest in Karrion Kross. I just don't see it. I
I
think
think
it's
if you
very
build,
much.
I think if you build, I agree with that. I think if you build him over the next few months, I would definitely be interested in the Karrion Kross versus Braun Breaker feud for the Intercontinental Championship. His character has the ability to rebound versus another character who is kind of in the mud. They're having him be involved, and plus the Final Testament, they actually are the first team who beat the Wyatt Six, the first and only team who
Yeah.
beat the Wyatt Six. After all of this, pomp and circumstance, what we've seen of the
Yeah.
Wyatt Six, and so they actually have some momentum coming, going for them
Yeah.
right now.
I don't feel it. I don't feel it at this. You know who I'd like to see him against, and this is totally something that you would go like no to, because again it's babyface, babyface. But then again, if they heated up some sort of an angle where someone missed it, he and Jay Uso, the Yeet Man, I think would be a very compelling match. I don't know how they would
Yeah,
bring it to us, but I think in terms
the
of
match,
marketing and
yeah,
colorful, I think it
yeah.
has the making of a great event.
I think the match would be fantastic,
Yeah,
but so what? I mean, there's other
right,
matches that are
right, right.
fantastic.
It's
You know what I
another
mean?
match.
Yeah, it's just
You're
another
right.
match. And
You're right.
I think that's the problem. What we see a lot within WWE programming is just matches just for the sake of matches. And that gets really, really old. You know what I mean? Really, really quick. And
It's a
so,
one
yeah,
shot.
yeah. I mean, you can easily do that. I mean, that just comes. You can easily schedule that on an episode of Raw. You know what I mean? Like, you could
Yeah,
have
yeah.
You can have both of them, dealing with the final testament or Judgment Day. To me, just has zero stock value. I mean, there's nothing about the Judgment Day that's compelling to me.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
At least the Final Testament has still
I
low
just think
stock
that they're
value,
going to.
not a lot. Go ahead.
I think they're going to
ahead.
go for, whether we like it or not, that they're going to go for Penta and Dominik. I think that's going to be the feud.
Yeah, I think we'll see that.
And
But
somehow Chad Gable's involved in this thing too.
yeah, but that does nothing for Penta. Nothing.
I know.
Dominik hardly ever
But
wins
I'm
matches.
just saying.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we'll see that, but I don't. Dominik hardly ever wins matches, and if he gets any type of offense against Penta, I mean, how does this help Penta? I mean,
No, it's got to be Penta. It's got to be Penta in charge, and it's got to be the usual interference from someone in the Judgment Day, J.D. McDonough. It's already written, so to say.
The same thing the same regurgitated, thing we saw with Ray and we saw with Priest. I mean, like we saw with Cody. It's the same regurgitated insert player A here. Everybody from the Judgment Day is going to jump on, and it's just same thing with R-Truth.
Are we going to get Ray Phoenix to come in, team with him, and go after the tag team championships? I think that would be a good idea if they want to energize the tag team division. They've tried to energize that tag team division many times, and nothing is hit yet. Nothing.
You had
bring back the fabulous Kangaroos. No,
there you go. You had an opportunity with the New Day with all the heat, and that heat's been squelched. I mean, it's just absolutely been squelched. I mean, all that just for Rey Mysterio to beat Kofi Kingston, and then now they're going to be feuding with the LWO. What a waste of heat!
And why was JBL even involved in that thing? And then they bring him out as a special broadcaster.
Yeah.
And they do nothing really with him at all to get any kind of a heat when he was at ringside there. It just didn't make.
And he's been physical because he's been physical, and he was just physical in TNA the night before. In Garland.
I predict he will be one of the surprises in the Royal Rumble. I think he and Booker T are going to be two legends that are going to come into the Royal Rumble. While we're talking about that, who you got?
Legends or winner?
No, Royal Rumble. Who you got?
No, I'm saying what legends or what winner?
No, who do you got to win the Royal Rumble?
Who do I have to win?
Yes. I know I'm hitting you with a lot of questions today.
No, I like it. I like it.
Or as Teddy Long calls them, tick-crack.
Tick-crack, yes.
What's your finish? Who's left in the ring and who eliminates who?
So I'll give you what I think should happen. I still stand by. I think Jey Uso should win. I still stand by that. I think you have an opportunity for Jey Uso. I think what you do, to me, I told you before, I don't like when an already established main eventer who can just cut a promo and get into a title picture, get into a title match, wins the Royal Rumble. I think it's just a waste of a match when that happens. I mean, rare occasions, perhaps, Austin winning made sense because he was against all odds, and it was the, he was feuding against the corporation. So he had to win in order to get an opportunity. That made sense when it came to storyline. But just already established,
who does Jey Uso?
Gunther. I think it's too early. I'm not a fan of Jey versus Gunther at Saturday Night's Main Event. I think it's premature. Yeah. You can redeem it, and you can have somehow Gunther beat Jey Uso because he's already beat him before when they, the Intercontinental Championship feud. You could have Jey Uso lose against Gunther in some way. and then you can have him win the Royal Rumble and have an opportunity to go against him again. You know what I mean? Or you can do Jay versus Cody. I mean, there's history there. You know what I mean? So I just think if WWE needs to look forward and build talent for the future, build main event talent for the future, and I think Jey Uso's the guy to do that. I don't think he'll win though. I do think you'll have more of a CM Punk who'll probably win. I think that's
I think this is a finish that I came up with. The
as far as finish. Yeah, you asked me about the finish. I do think it'll be Drew. I think the last four would be Punk, Drew, Seth, probably Jay, Punk, Drew, Seth. Probably Jay or maybe a Legend or JBL or something like that.
I think it's going to be Roman, Cena.
Oh yeah, Roman's in it too. Yeah, so he'll probably
Roman and Cena are going to be the last two guys, and there's going to be a distraction. I know it sounds simple, but this is what people want. There'll be a distraction from the bloodline, and Roman's going to turn around and be distracted, and John Cena's going to toss him over the rope, and we're going to get Cena Gunther, I think, because I think, as John Cena's father told me, that Cody spot is reserved for The Rock. Whether or not that'll happen, I don't know, but
yeah,
that's what I think is going to happen. I think Cena is going to I don't know. Cena's either going to win that or he's going to.
I think he should win Elimination Chamber. I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I just don't think that Cena winning. He's already won twice. And it's Cena's already had the title 16 times. Like, there's just nothing. He just doesn't. To me, that's just a wasted spot. Like, if Cena wins the Royal Rumble, it's a wasted spot. If anything, all those big names in there, they should start feuds within the Royal Rumble. I think that the reason why these big names are in it, it should start feuds that lead into WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like when Brock and Goldberg, that was a thing. You know what I mean? When they split and they had the two brands like they do now, but when they had the two brands, you get to see those colossal names come in, within the Royal Rumble. And that can give an opportunity, even from a SmackDown and a Raw person, that can give opportunities for people to feud even within, cross brands. And so Cena winning just wouldn't make any sense.
You know what Cena is good for winning this is not because he might get title 17, but that sounds like a political thing. It's not. He might get the 17th win, but the outside of wrestling media and the talk shows, the Jimmy Kimmel shows and Fallon's show, they all have him on. Oh, you won, you're going to get a title shot, because this is mainstream media that's interested in him. Where if Uso wins, CM Punk wins, it doesn't mean, even if Roman wins, it doesn't mean outside the wrestling community, in the rest of the world, it doesn't have that buzz that John Cena will have.
No, I definitely don't disagree with that. I do think Cena will have a greater buzz, but that's the art of investment, though, man. Like, good investors don't have radical expectations as far as just knee jerk or just microwave expectations. You got to cook that thing, man. Got to put that in the oven. And I think when it comes to Cena's last year, what you don't want is for Cena to hog the year up, which doesn't build another babyface star for the future. You don't want Cena to hog up the entire year.
Sure. I agree with that, but I just think from a marketing standpoint, media standpoint, that's where they're going to go. Yeah, Did you watch NXT earlier tonight?
No.
Corey Graves was one of the Vic Joseph and Booker T were on the broad. Yes, yeah. Now people were saying they think that this is still a work, that something's going to come out of this thing, that it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
moved into a storyline, which,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Corey seemed pretty happy being there.
I mean, a week of getting whipped into shape and saying, "Hey, you won't get this type of money anywhere else." That'll make someone happy
You
too.
know, yeah. That,
Yeah.
but
So
that
he, he ended up getting his he ended up deleting those messages. You know what I mean? So clearly it wasn't a work too much. I think that he went to Twitter to air his grievances. It's not the best way to do it, but that's
no, not at all.
oftentimes is the most popular way to do it. Could he have been throwing some feelers out to Tony Khan by doing that and deleting it? You know what I mean? Tony Khan's he's always waiting for to hunt for fresh meat when it comes to ex WWE people or defecting people from WWE to AEW. So, but I mean, when it comes to the Corey Graves stuff, man, I can see that it's a legitimate. I was told that it is like he did feel that way, but at the same time, it's like I think even if it's a work, I think it's just a weird way
Yeah,
to
a weird thing. I think
yeah.
that him being on there and seeing that, um, like other WWE people are going to NXT. We saw Austin tonight and Grayson Waller
Hmm.
there. They were both there, and I think with the influx of what's going to happen with the TNA talent right now, I think he's really. It's a good thing for him to be there. It's something fresh.
Corey Graves.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you're still
I'm fine
working.
with him.
Yeah,
He's not getting paid less. You know what I mean?
no,
So
but
it's
it might be an ego thing.
yeah,
You
I
know,
mean it is if he's not getting paid any less and he's on NXT. I mean, what else do you have? You've been the main color guy for Raw before. You've been the main color guy for SmackDown. You've been the main color guy for NXT. I mean, this is a ceiling job. I mean,
right?
like being a color commentator is a ceiling job. WWE has 3 brands that they're promoting every week: Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I mean,
I
I can
now
see
call
why he considers it a demotion, but it's literally not a demotion if you get paid the same.
yeah, I call it NXTNA.
Yes, that
That's
has
how.
become a thing.
So
Yes,
now TNA people coming into WWE, which I think is good. This is good because back in the Vince McMahon days, you couldn't even mention the name TNA.
mm,
It was taboo. You couldn't mention NWA. Now the broadcasters are talking about New Japan and TNA and other companies. So one of the things I wonder about, one of the hottest teams that were part of WWE, and I know they'd love to get back, are the
I'll get
Hardys.
to the
Not,
super chats in a minute. By the way, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, that's fine. Could you see the Hardys coming back? I could see them on NXT uh,
Absolutely.
to
Yeah,
start with,
mm,
definitely. And Joe Henry has wants to wrestle John Cena,
he
which is
does.
very
Yeah.
interesting because Henry's the new champion.
He is, and we talking about that on Pancakes and Power Slams here in just a few minutes. The psychology of trends and tying in with the bandwagon effect. You have Joe Hendry on one side and Hulk Hogan on the other, and I'll talk about the fusion of the two. So it's going to be a really interesting
Oh,
class.
wait a minute now. So
Mm-hmm.
Cena's 17, number 17,
Mm-hmm.
could be, I want a shot at the TNA title. He's never had it.
No, I don't think that's going to happen, buddy. A good idea. Bill's ideas are already. This is a
You
fun.
never
Hey,
know.
let's just throw it. Let's just throw it out there and see if it sticks. It's
Throw it against the wall,
unscripted.
and if it sticks,
It sticks. If it sticks, it
we'll
sticks, man.
use it.
I like the Hardys and Fraxium. I like that. I think that that's going to be That's the thing. Nathan Frazier and Axiom is Fraxium, right? And the
Yes,
team. I only follow NXT through socials occasionally, but I did see. I did follow the Genesis pay-per-view and saw that they came out. And don't they have a match? Don't they have a match on TNA? Fraxium does. I think that they.
I'm not. I'm not sure.
I think it was announced.
You said we have some super chats.
Yes, but yes, I do think I think that the Hardys will come and appear in
I hope so.
NXT.
I hope so.
I like it. All right, awesome sauce, $5. My WWE Hall of Fame picks for 2025: Cena, Ivan Koloff, Bundy, Demolition, Leilani Kai / Judy Martin with the Glamour Girls, Miss Elizabeth, and Cyndi Lauper. Thoughts? I think all of them deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think that fits the WWE criteria. The WWE criteria is usually one main eventer, one like very popular, legendary mid-card level, usually a minority, a female, a tag team, and a posthumous inductee. That's usually like the 6 criteria that they look for. So putting 1, 2, 3, 4 women in the Hall of Fame in 1 year, I don't think that they'll do that.
For some reason, I thought Leilani Kai and Judy Martin were in there. Probably not.
So
John Cena. No, next year maybe.
Yeah,
Ivan Koloff. Weeks before he passed away, I did an interview with him asking to be included in the Hall of Fame, but there was an issue where he was among a whole bunch of wrestlers that put a lawsuit against WWE.
Yep.
Yeah, so maybe I'd love to see him inducted. Who else have we got here? Bundy, possibly. Demolition could be the tag team, but they also, like Koloff, were in that lawsuit. Miss Elizabeth, yeah, it's about time. Cyndi Lauper, I think, would be the great entertainment part. Yeah.
I think if you do a celebrity wing, this celebrity wing was weird to me too, but they do that. Lauper would be great, although I think she should be in the Hall of Fame without celebrity. I think
why haven't they done it though with her?
I think they have a lot of other. I mean, a lot of times it's a political move too, man. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the tag team Demolition should have been in, but like you said, the class action has been a thing. So, all right, real quick, go ahead.
Wait, before we go there, who else? I was going to ask you. No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Rollins, CM Punk will be in the Rumble Final 4 every year.
Possible?
Good.
Yeah, I think so.
Rollins, $2 after Monday. Should Hogan confront Punk at Saturday Night's Main Event? No way. No, I don't think so. I think it was just a one-time jab that Hogan said, "Hey, brawler, why'd you do that?"
I think it was an ad lib.
I think it was, anything to get a pop these days. So, all right, Bill Apter, let them know where to find you, my brother.
Dr. Chris, right there on Twitter X at Apter1 Wrestling.
Yes, indeed, and follow me.
That's the best place to find Wonderful Willie.
Yes, indeed. He's got conventions galore, ladies and gentlemen. He's got one-man shows, conventions. He's got everything going on. This
all
is
over the place.
The Hall of Famer player.
Thank you.
Bill Apter. I'm Dr. Chris, and like I said, I'm about to head over to Pancakes and Power Sams. Wonderful topic, fun topic. Hulk Hogan, Joe Hendry. I'll bring the psychology between how the fusion of those two names, and there's going to be lots of fun.
You know who I'd like to include in that, and I'm not on the show?
What's that?
When you talk about Hulk Hogan, the reaction that Tessa Blanchard got on Genesis.
Oh, that's a whole different subject. That's
It
yeah.
is, but
I'll be
it ties
talking about
in
that.
with the reaction Hulk Hogan got.
Not for my subject, but I do think that yeah, that's definitely something I want to talk about, and I'll
Maybe
probably
next week we
about
can do it
soon.
right
Yes.
here on
Yes.
Unscripted.
Yes, indeed. It's something that's is going to take a long time. My last Hogan show a couple of weeks ago was an hour and 40 minutes
Oh,
because so many people were talking. It was a great discussion, and so yeah. So go check that out. Right now, this is Bill Apter. I'm Dr. Chris. This is Unscripted. Have a good
yeah.
night, buddy.
See you at the matches. Thanks for tuning in.
So long.